Hey, Amber here. Have you ever come across a gun and didn't know what to do? Before we start this demonstration, I want to make sure you know everything is no ammo, everything is safe. We have no ammo here, we have no ammo here. This is going to be a demonstration about a safety event in case you come across a weapon. First things first, don't care how old you are, if you have zero information on a firearm and you come across a firearm, you need to tell adult, even if it is the same age as you, whoever the owner of the house is, you need to not touch it and get an adult. So in case you are the adult and you do come across a firearm, what do? How do you properly pick up a firearm? So since we've already cleared this weapon, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and make this ready. Now, if you do come across a firearm that is actually magazine is in and it's closed like this, quite opposite of what we just saw before. If you do come across the firearm like this, you should automatically think that there's a round in the chamber. So you should not touch this gun whatsoever. If you do, let's decide how to do it properly. All right, first things first, you have no idea what's in the chamber or if there's any ammo in here. As before, right now there's no ammo, it's absolutely safe. So what I want to do is be able to see the trigger, which I don't know if you could come in closer. This is the trigger guard, and this actually is the trigger. What makes this gun work and operate is actually pulling that trigger. This is a trigger finger. If you're right-handed, if you're left-handed, it's this finger. So we want to make sure our finger does not go in the trigger guard or even touch the trigger itself. So how you do that is you pick up the gun, your flat fingers come up underneath. I'm going to turn my gun, my trigger finger, if you're right-handed, is on the right hand. Trigger finger is off of the trigger guard and even the trigger itself. My other three fingers wrap around the base. I'm going to flip it for you. And how a good grip is you can actually see my fingertips are white because I am gripping this like do or die. This is how you grip the gun. Really, really grip. And that is how you properly handle a firearm. Finger off that trigger. Your goal is not to pull that trigger if you have to pick up a firearm. First things first, if you're not aware of this firearm, you need to get an adult. You need to make sure you stay away from it and get someone that's responsible. It may not be you, and that's okay. Okay, in continuation, if I come into a room and there is a gun laying here, first things first, you don't touch it. You don't need to, just by the looks of it, acknowledge that it can and could possibly be loaded, even with one in the chamber. If I just come across a gun in a room, if I'm at a party or somewhere else, you really need to identify that this is closed. There is a magazine. I can see that there is a magazine in here. First things first, once again, I want to tell adult. I want to make sure I don't touch this gun. I want to make sure that anyone else, especially if there's young kids or anything, you need to somehow close this room off. This should not happen ever. This should be in either a safe, this should be on the owner's body, this should be in what we call a holster, which is one of these, and this should be in a holster. Even if it is in a holster, it should be on your body, the owner's body. Concealed, sometimes we have unwanted guests. If it is out, I want to make sure you know that it's still unloaded as we do this demonstration. If it is open like this, make sure you don't touch it. You need to close this room off, because this is a very bad, dangerous situation. A lot of people are coming across loaded guns, get an adult. You don't need to touch it and bring it to somebody. Get somebody that's owner of the house, owner of this gun possibly, bring to the situation, which is a loaded gun, and that's not properly stored. Make sure you don't touch this. Make sure you're in a safe area and you get the proper adult, even if that adult is younger than you. Hey, I care about you. I care about your family's safety. Let's take extra steps in acknowledging the firearm and putting the firearm in the right hands. And if there is something that's missing, that's dangerous, tell an adult. Stay safe.